Hello guys. Okay, so I'm doing a follow-up, of course, USD Index, DXY, Euro USD. Those are the major instruments that I'm going to be showing you guys. And of course, I'm using this as a form of like diary record keeping for myself. That I could always come back in a few months, in a few years, and then, check on my growth, check on how USD has grown and so on, right? And it will be good for everybody, one way or the other, to keep records or whatever the case might be. So if you've been watching the past like two videos, we're talking about USD index from the daily time frame perspective from D1. And then we've been saying that price has been, flipping in this area, flip zone area. Support, some resistance, some support, and the story continues. Always look to the left and you see it. Now look at where it has gotten to. We said we're expecting it to get to this 99 area and then maybe even to this area. Now let me even tell you another reason, an extra reason why I'm expecting it to push higher. And this is it. I'm going to add Fibonacci, right? If you've watched some videos in the past, like my videos from way back, at times we add Fibonacci, at times we add trend lines, but then I can easily, with my eyes, see what I want to see. So I don't have to put it on the chart. And of course, that has come from years of experience. So I'm going to do something now. I'm going to put in the Fibonacci retracement tool from the beginning of this year, more or less, to where it is now, based on the Fib retracement. So from this lows to these highs, right? And I'm doing from this lows to this highs because I'm looking at this wave, this recent wave. This is a wave here. You could also probably call this another wave as well, right? The price tends to move in waves, and I'm not here to talk about Elliott waves. Let me clean this up. So now, with that said, from the lows here to where it is now, I'm going to show you a reason why I'm expecting it to push higher. Price moved from here to this point here, and it has retraced all the way to this rectangle, right? Flip zone, support resistance area. And what happened? In between 50 and 61.8, these are key areas to start looking for, potential reversals. And there we have it here. Now, with all things being equal, price should get back to this highs here. At least price should get back to this highs here. It could bounce back or it could break out. I don't know. But all things being equal, price should do this. Yesterday, I pointed out the gap here, and gap traders are trying to close this gap. That is the main reason of gap trading. Try to close the gap no matter how long it takes. I'm not saying, right, listen to me, guys. I'm not saying price may not break this rectangle and even push further down. That is also a possibility. When you are trading, I'm sure for those that have been trading for a while, you've noticed that price does what it wants to do. What we are doing as traders is basically to follow what price is doing. I repeat, what we are doing as traders is simply to follow what price is doing, right? And if you look closely, you'll notice something, right? Now, when price does this, we do that. And when price does something else, we adjust, right? So I'm not here to say this is definite, no, right? I'm just here to say this is what I'm expecting. And with that expectation, right, because that's why it's called forecast. We forecast the market, we do analysis. And that's why I was also able to say, okay, guys, that we should be looking forward to buying this guy, right? Oops, let me clean this up. Looking forward to buying this USD index from the hourly or even from lower time frames, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever. But you must use these areas here. These areas here were drawn by the Flippy indicator. I created an indicator called Flippy. I called it Flippy to pick out key areas of flip zones, especially looking at the left-hand side. When you move to the left, you can see areas here of like this here is resistance. You have some little resistance here. You have some support. You have some support. You have some resistance. It broke here. You have here support. So always look to the left and you will see things clearly, right? So we were able to get a trade on Euro USD. We talked about this yesterday. And I try to put in another position, right? Let me show you the Euro USD and how it is doing from yesterday. So this is the Euro USD. And from yesterday, um, try to put in what am I saying again? Sorry, today rather, right? Today I tried to put in another entry somewhere here, around here, when he did a little pullback. I know I don't have markings here, but if you look here to the left, some form of support, some here, support, some resistance. Remember I said always look to the left and to get clearer, right? So you can see resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, support, support. So I got an entry here and then I went to bed. I popped up quickly. I noticed that it came down a bit. Normally my stop loss was just above these guys. I should have moved it higher, but I didn't want my risk to reward ratio to be too high. I was hiding it above the candles. And then we had this guy that took me out while I was asleep and then went further down. And this was on my second position. I was trying to throw in the second position just to add to the profit that I have so far. And you can see I'm still in profit. Now, this trade actually is about 9 or 10 hour reward, right? And I'm not using 1% for my trade management over here, for my risk management, right? So, and this is the reason, this is one of the major reasons why now I pay attention to fewer instruments. Fewer instruments, you understand them better, you can flow with them better, you can even put in bigger risk, right? Imagine you placing trades on 10 instruments and you place like trades on five of them. That's maybe like 5% if you're using 1% each. But what I now do, I push majority of that percentage, right? Majority of that risk, I push it to this one trade over here. And then I kind of babysit it into break even from where we were yesterday into where it is now. And now it's almost at 9 hour, 10 hour thereabout. It's a good trade. If I have just one of this in a week, I'm very okay. And then the next week we see what the market has to offer again. Right now, I'm going to round up this video. I'm trying my best not to make them too lengthy. I just pop in, give you a little update, and then maybe expectations for the next day. Today is Thursday, right? My expectation now is that we should have some profit taken this Thursday today and even tomorrow, Friday, and we could even have some reversals. But hopefully, I get my profits before we have some reversals, or even if we have a reversal, it comes back again. I'm going to watch it closely. I might have to do trade management where I move my stop loss a bit lower and lock in some more, right? Because I don't want to give back way too much. Okay, thank you guys. If you have any questions or you want to test the Flippy indicator, I can give it to you, give you free access for a little while to test it. You like it, and then you can continue to use it or whatever the case may be. But if you need any assistance whatsoever, just let me know and I will see what I can do. Okay, trade safely, guys. Cheers.